There's been a crazy uptake in the amount of people playing Season 7 of the finals. But if you're a seasoned pro from COD or Apex or just a casual gamer, have I got news for you. You might think you're playing the finals the right way, but trust me, these 10 tips will change how you play this game forever. If you like this content, hit the like button for the algorithm and hit that subscribe button. Catch you in 2. Tip number 1. Use movement as a weapon. Most people think of movement as just a way to dodge bullets or get from A to B, but in the finals, movement is so important to your offense. And by that I mean gaining momentum throughout everything that you do. So this comes from bunny hopping into, as the old people say, break cameras or breaking hitboxes. It could be vaulting in around an enemy over a wall, or even as much as grappling behind someone mid-fight just to hit them with that last couple of shots. An additional pro tip here, use the movement abilities to isolate players before they react. Having a level of game sense in this game is so important, along with movement and gun skill ability. It's a little bit different to you guys who's played COD before. It's a little probably more like Apex in the sense that you can do so much with movement in this game that it can really separate you and create such a skill ceiling. The best plays are made before the enemy even shows up. Tip 2. Pre-place explosives and all utility before fights even start. So an example of this is dropping C4 and entry points or gas canisters near objectives. You always see it from high level players where you can see that they've set mines on top of also the cash out so that towards the end game they just shoot it off. This obviously causes an extremely difficult situation where you can't actually get the cash out unless you are able to take the damage. So generally maybe heavies can do it, but otherwise serious problem. So wait for enemies to get comfy, then detonate them off, blow them under the map, use destruction to your best ability. The traps are control tools. They do help you win, especially on controller against aiming gods, because as we all know, this game is so mouse and keyboard heavy. But for you controller players, use all of this utility to the best of your ability and you have a great chance of coming out on top. Did you ever wonder how some of the best teams in this game are always at the cash out before you? That isn't luck. That's absolute lethality. Tip number 3, master bank rotation timings. You need to know the map cycle. You need to know that when one bank closes, the vault opens somewhere else. Use that downtime that's happening towards your last maybe 5-10 seconds of the vault while you have it to rotate early, set some traps or gatekeep the rotation. Something that's a great tip for me is that on spawn on your first game, if you're not within a certain distance, I think it's somewhere around 60 meters, you're the further away team on the cash out. You don't actually have to go and play the fight at the vault. Think ahead. Think about the choke points on the map. Where can you actually catch that team on a rotation, steal it, and then get the bonus for inserting it within the cash out? It totally reduces your third party risk and it gives you so much time to set up. Rather than being the team that has to push the team who's already set up at the vault, you play it on your own terms and take the fight the way you want it, not the way they do. I love playing heavy just as much as the next guy. Hey, my last video that banged was actually based on heavy players and controller, but one big point here. Heavy looks really strong on paper, especially with a competent team, but solo, you're basically a giant piñata that can't move. So tip number 4, stop solo queuing heavy class. Realistically, you have very little mobility. It's very easy to get you isolated and it totally relies on team synergy and communication. So I'm not going to go into the classic details of, just stop solo queuing, but if you are going to solo queue, you can probably carry better on medium or light. They have a bit of speed and utility, so it can kind of help you reposition and stop you getting isolated so much in fights. So if you do want to carry, especially solo, pick classes that let you disengage at your own timing and also flank. One of the most unique things about the finals is its destruction capabilities and obstruction that you can make from it. You don't always need firepower. Sometimes a door frame or a wall is actually deadlier than a gun. By being able to maybe drop crates in hallways, block elevators with mesh shields, or just push a wall onto the ground that stops a team pushing in from a certain angle, you can actually win your team a gunfight. You can use barricades to slow down enemy pushes and stall long enough to either revive one of your teammates or just simply reset the fight, heal up, go again. It's all possible in this game. Objects can also hide traps and break line of sight, so just remember that. Maybe putting a little gas mine somewhere or a glitch trap around the place can make a huge difference. Have you ever spent 5 minutes fighting a team, trying to win that cash out, and then all of a sudden another team swoops in at like 80 or 90% and just steals it? Yeah, I hate to say it guys, but third partying can be very, very useful. Just because someone else starts the cash out doesn't mean it's theirs. Generally speaking, the team who manages their resources most effectively will win these fights. So if you do let teams do the work and use sound cues and vision to time your third parties well, you can win these so easily. I do understand there's a risk versus reward here, but taking fights when there's peak chaos going on, it does favour the smart teams, and being able to isolate members of those opposing teams, that will wipe two teams nearly 9 times out of 10. So think about that the next time you're thinking about which cash out you're going to hit. Believe it or not, most deaths in the finals aren't from what's straight in front of you, it's who's above or who's below. Using footsteps, grapples and zip lines to track vertical movement is so important in this game. Don't just tunnel vision at eye level, look up and down constantly, be aware of what's above and below you. High ground means reaction advantage, so please don't give it up for free, because the team that can hold that heady against you, it's impossible to get them off, let's be real. Unless you're shooting like an absolute beamer, you're having a hope in hell. So what I mean by this is, when you hear those sound cues like someone zipping or grappling up on you, move to a position where at least one side of your body is covered or as little of you is shown as possible. Whether that means taking height or moving to a position where there is cover, it'll change your life. And one small thing, additional pro tip here, always think about where your next piece of cover is. When you're traversing through the map, always think to yourself, okay, if I get shot right now, where is my closest piece of cover? Is it to my left? Is it to my right? Is it actually behind me? This sort of thought process while you're playing the game is what separates the average Joe from the top of the top. Many people in this game play it without a microphone. Let's be real, that's a challenge in itself, but good comms do win matches, and that's even without a microphone. Using the ping system effectively to mark enemies, traps and flanks, not just pinging the vault or a kind of general location as to where the other team is. Try help your teammates as best as possible by using those pings if you don't plan to use a microphone. Even with random teammates, that small bit of coordination can help you against the likes of those 3 kids sitting in Discord absolutely tweaking out while they're sat on lights with Invis, Grapple and Dash. One thing that's super important about this game, the maps are so different from each other. Your loadout shouldn't always stay the same every single game. You should always upgrade based on the map and not just out of habit and comfort. If you're playing Monaco, close quarters, bring gas traps and shotguns. If you're on Skyway Stadium, there's so much verticality, bring those extra mobility tools, whether that be zip lines or jump pads, and make sure you also have those ranged weapons like the Pike 5.56 for those long range engagement, because they are so important here. As a wise man once said, improvise, adapt, overcome. You have to be flexible with your loadout, and that goes for every game, not just the finals. Default loadouts will get you default results, so adapt those builds to the different environments in this game and I guarantee to get success. One final tip for all of you guys who hung around to the end of this video, and it's probably the most important of them all. Have fun. Jokes, not really, that's not going to change how you play the game. Something I've learned over my time of playing is how to read into gunfights that's going on around you. And one of the super important ones if you want to third party effectively in this game is something I picked up recently. Can you guess what it is? So during a fight when two teams are taking place, if you're in a close vicinity to them, what you'll find out is that approximately at some point you'll see that there's a peak to gunfire, so you'll hear loads of shots going off. Then all of a sudden nothing. That generally means one team has either disengaged because they're down a number or two, or one team is fully wiped, which generally will mean that the other team is low on utility. Use that sort of intel to decide when you want to push teams and when you don't. So to round it all up, here are the top 10 tips that'll change the way you play the finals forever. Until the next one, guys, I've been JBS. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.